I suppose a lot of people will succumb to the desire to see this thing for themselves. You know my stance. Without respect, we reject. Without respect, we reject. Without respect, we reject.
That's where I'm at. I thought of this today. You know what? If you see the movie, you're going to live with those images for the rest of your life. And I really wish I didn't have the image of Luke Skywalker drinking titty milk, Holdo, and Rose in my head. If I could go back and tell myself not to watch The Last Jedi, don't get those images in your head, I probably would. Well, I've got a second chance at not seeing that fucking bullshit and not ever having it in my head. Because if you really don't consider this canon, you have no reason to see it. I'm John Paul Rai. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. Some people call me So that occurred to me today. I've had a lot of thoughts about this movie, and I really struggle with myself. Like, am I going to see this thing in the theater? Am I going to review it for this channel, which is important, and we'll get to that. And I'm thinking that I can't do that. I couldn't live with myself if I gave Disney and Lucasfilms money to see this thing. It doesn't matter if it's ad revenue money. It doesn't matter if it's someone else's money. It doesn't fucking matter if it's Bob Iger's money, because that's still money that goes towards the total of the box office for this movie. Now, think about it. I was watching Doomcock's video today about respect. And, yeah, he says it pretty perfect. He got that right. Without respect, we gotta reject the fucking thing. And, this is about the biggest level of disrespect in The Rise of Skywalker. Here, let's spoil the fucking thing in case you don't know. Basically, Anakin's legacy is ruined, which also ruins Luke's legacy, which also kind of ruins Han and Leia and fucking every other single character that worked to get Sidious defeated for Rey. Is that respect? That's about the worst respect I've ever heard in my life. Could I review it? I guess so. What the fuck would happen if I reviewed it? I'd shoot out some details about why this works, why that doesn't work, why this droid's stupid, why this other droid's stupid, why Chewie shouldn't have done that, why Lando shouldn't have done that. It's a waste of fucking time. It really is a waste of fucking time. Why Bubba Fink, Jink, whatever the fuck his name is, a bad character, why 3PO shouldn't get his memory erased, all that shit. But in the end, if Rey ends up being Palpatine and spoils the legacy we've loved for 40 years, what's the difference how bad the shit leading up to that is? It's irrelevant. Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll see the movie at some point, but I can't see it in the theater. I'd clearly be seeing it. I would never get those images out of my head. I'll see it at some point when I have, a little more control of like the screen, the blurriness, fast forward, rewind, if you guys know what I mean, and I'm not watching that last scene because I don't want that scene in my head. I could easily read about it and know exactly what happens. I'll read every single Force Ghost that's in the last scene. I'll read every line of dialogue. And yeah, I'll watch the movie up into like the third act. I'll probably shut it off. Because, like I said, I don't want that image in my head. If I decide to see it for what might be some extra views, and probably not, because I'll be honest, as somebody who makes 2, 3, even 4 videos a day sometimes, reviews don't do that good. And also, it's about the topic that's going on, the actors, the drama, the interviews. That's the kind of stuff, that people watch and tune into anyway. So reviewing it doesn't even matter for, like, the channel. I gotta see it for this one reason. There's one reason I have to see it with my own eyes for the most part, is that I'm going to be debating people who are defending it and saying it's great and saying it fits this political narrative about strong women and equality now and all that bullshit. I have to have my argument sharp and I have to know what I'm talking about. For that one reason, I will watch the movie at some point. I also don't want to see Kylo kiss Rey. It's just not even worth seeing, and I want to be able to say that this movie was so bad, it's the only Star Wars movie in my life I've never seen in the movie theater as far as the saga goes, because I skipped Solo. And I thought the opposite at one point. I struggled with all kind of fucking thoughts like, should I see it for the tradition because I've never missed one? But if it's really, really not a Star Wars movie. So, it wouldn't matter if I saw it in the theater because it doesn't fit in with the saga. And the one thing I'm really worried about is I'm enjoying The Mandalorian and I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan, but if it connects with this Disney trilogy, if it connects with this really hot, melting, burning garbage, then that's going to ruin The Mandalorian. If in the last episode of The Mandalorian, we see Snoke, or we see a child Kylo, or we see something that, definitively connects it to The Last Jedi, or The Force Awakens, or The Rise of Skywalker, it's going to ruin the fucking Mandalorian, because then I'm never going to have to, then I can never watch The Mandalorian again, because I know it's going to lead up to that. So there's really a risk of, this spoiling anything Star Wars in the future that's made by Disney or connected to this piece of trash trilogy. And yeah, I apologize, I'm going to be a little more intellectual. I'm going to try to control myself because you can't really win arguments by calling things hot trash and dumpster fire. But, right now, I'm not going to really stretch for those perfect words because I'm just explaining why I'm not really going to rush out to see this thing and review this thing. I'll cover the ratings, I'll cover the critics, I'll cover the fans, I'll cover everything I possibly can. And yeah, I'll see it as soon as I can. And if you guys don't know what I mean, I can't help you. It's 2019 and yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that. Alright, so I think that sufficiently explains why I'm not going to see this thing immediately. I'm going to say this too, flat out with, no fucking bullshit withheld, because, a lot of people, and you won't get this from too many other people, a lot of people kind of make videos and they put on a character, which I do too, I put on a character, but sometimes they never really break that character, and if they don't want to tell you something, they kind of just, mow over it. Maybe they'll answer it in a comment, a little thing here and there, but I'm going to tell you right now that if you are seeing this movie and you've hated The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and Lucasfilms and Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson for the last 4 years, then you should not be seeing this movie because they disrespected your memories, something you held dear as far as fiction, and I can't condone anyone seeing it. So, in the theater, I'm paying money. We're going to see it at some point. It doesn't matter whose money, what money, it's still money to fill a seat and add to the box office. So if that came out harsh, I apologize, but I have strong feelings on this shit, and I'm just not going to hold back on it to anybody. So, that's what brought me here, Star Wars, so there, the real Star Wars. Alright, so I gotta give Doomcock a big thank you because his video kind of set me straight on the path, kind of put my mindset where it has to be with this. And also, the thing I thought today about getting the image in my head and, that would affect me and how I wish I didn't have The Last Jedi's image in my head. And same with The Force Awakens to a limited extent, but nothing really happened terrible there except Han. But, most of The Last Jedi. And anyway, by the way, Doomcock is a subscriber on this channel. Hail Entertainment Hacker, good job here, my friend, subbed, and congrats on breaking 1,000. My Star Wars video is coming soon, but just wanted to say well done. So, of course, he's one of the big channels I support, and if you are not subscribed to Doomcock, subscribe to him. He's just got some of the best videos and thoughts on this. And a shout out from me to Doomcock won't do so much. Maybe it'll get you 1 or 2, man. Alright, anyway, I'm doing shout outs, special thanks. Do one more, real shout out to somebody who needs it a little more. I'm gonna give a shout out to Rob from Everything Star Wars. And Rob, if you're going to go see this movie in the movie theaters, and you're going to go sit there so close to a pile of hot, wet dumpster trash, may the Force be with you, my friend. I'll see you next time.